Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Well, welcome back. Happy Thursday. I hope I sound better this morning. Yesterday was rough. The day before that was rough. It feels like we are coming on the other side of it. So it's good to be back this morning. It's good to feel fresh. Who do we have here? We get Sneeps. Need a Team Hold Gaming morale boost. I'm rooting for you guys and THG. Snoopaloop saying Happy National Kentucky Day. Great. Jump Shoot's got a meme this morning. Hate to see it. Common Man's here. Stubbs. We got Hugo. Botavine's in here. We got What Ya Dad. Baston's over. Good afternoon, Europe, he says. We also have Garen here as well. Good morning. Like the stream. Subscribe. All of the fun stuff. If you missed last night, we had some shot tank action. The boys were back in town. John was here, TST, even Jeb. And we just did So Rare the whole night. We kind of dove, the past tense, into year 2 of So Rare. They had a bunch of announcements. We know they have that stream that's happening today that we're excited to be a part of. So if you missed Shot Tank, go check that out either in podcast form. Sorry, guys, we got to readjust that chair. Either in podcast form or in video form or transcribe it. I don't know. Do whatever you want. Rob said loving the So Rare content. Let's go, Rob. Just a reminder, too, let's hit you with what we got coming up, all right? So this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern, they are doing that So Rare stream over at I think it's like So Rare headquarters. So Rare HQ is their main channel, right? That has Rob Perez. That's got myself, Andrew Laird, Bryson, a bunch of fun, exciting people. So check that out today. Tomorrow, NBA Bits right back here at you, 9 a.m., then the Underdog Happy Hour in the afternoon. And then next week, we'll have the morning show on Monday. And then Tuesday, again, noon to 8 p.m. Saw the location over in So Rare Studios. Excited to be there on Tuesday. We've got a big show lined up. And I don't know if you guys saw, but we got like a wild giveaway that we're going to be doing. I'll pull that up and just take you through the thread real quick. And then I promise, this is what we're going to do this morning. There was only a couple of preseason games, so we're going to go over some of that action because there was some fun stuff that happened. And then we're going to dive into some NBA awards and just see if we can make some fun little betty bets, you know? All right, here we go. Look at that face. All right, let's go over to, where is that thread? Also, this is a great joke here. 7 years ago, the sports version of Rudy Giuliani is Curt Schilling. All right, let's get into, actually, you know what we're going to do first? First and foremost, congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces. I was able to see the little bit of the first half, and then Shot Tank started, and then I saw like the last 2 possessions. You know, it's crazy. I almost made a bet on this because it was one of those things, right, where the Aces lose to Chelsea Gray, basically their starting point guard, one of the best point guards in the game. They also lose their 6th person. Is it Stokes? Was it Stokes? Kia Stokes? Anyways, they lose 2 of their top 6. They're on the road. All of the momentum is with the Liberty. The Liberty were favored to win that game. And whenever that shit starts happening, that's usually like, it's going to be too hard. The Aces have been here before. Breanna Stewart out there. I don't know. Are we ready to have a Breanna Stewart, James Harden conversation? Not me. I'm not going to do it, but good Lord. So we had that. Anyways, congrats to the Aces. Big W. Fun end of the game. Sabrina knocks down a 3, throws up. We love to see that. Asia Wilson was incredible. So congrats to the Aces. Congrats to the Aces. Con Man in here saying cash a W and an MLB 2 leg last night. I almost had a massive. So I put a big bet, which was dumb. But I put it on Yordan Alvarez to have an RBI, Jose Altuve to have an RBI, Jung from the Rangers to have an RBI. And then there was one more that I put on there. And it was Alex Bregman, and he let me down. And it was like $25 for $12.50 or something crazy like that. So anyways, we were bummed out. All right, enough about that. Let's go over here. So as you can see, less than a week away from the NBA Marathon Tip-Off Show, live from SORARE Studios. So here's the thing right now, and I'll say we have gained since this. Let me get a live reading on this. We are at 10,496 subscribers. So that's gone up 11 since this tweet. Here's the thing. Young, not Jung. Didn't I say Young? Sorry. Zhang. Anyways, we're at 10,496. All right. And this is what we're going to do. Just already, before anything happens, we are already giving away 2 different sets of NBA tickets to a team of your choice. We'll be giving away SORARE merch. We'll be giving away Team Hold merch. We also might be giving away some other SORARE cards. I haven't got that confirmed yet. But if we hit 11K by the end of the show on Tuesday, at the end of the marathon show, we're going to add an additional 6 NBA tickets. So 3 more sets of 2. We'll also be giving away 5 different NBA jerseys. And then last but not least, we'd give away a Tyrese Halliburton year 1 rare card, which is going for like $500. All right. All right. So if you haven't shared this yet, if you haven't told your friends, family, loved one, even your enemies to follow Team Hold, subscribe, all of those things, go out there and do the Lord's work. Get it out there, girl, so that we can pump it up. We want to hit. That would be like a fun little milestone, right? Took forever. We hit 10K, I think, the first week of September. Imagine if we get to 11K before the end of October, right? We love that. We love that. All right, that's enough. Enough of that garbage. Oh, Leon in the chat. Let's go, Leon. Oh, is that a middle finger? I love that your avatar is your child flipping us off. I love that. That's good. I like that energy. So last night, only a handful of preseason games, but we had some fun stuff. All right, Nets and Heat, 107-104. There's not too much excitement out of this one, so let's get it out of the way right now. Simmons had 2 points, 8 boards, 7 dimes. Lonnie Walker, though, this is a big bench show for the Brooklyn Nets. Lonnie Walker had 22 off the bench. Dejan Sharp with a double-double, 19 and 11 off the bench. Our guy Jay Blaze, his favorite player, Cam Thomas, or if he has a bad game, we like to call him Scam Thomas. He had 14. Miami did not play Jimmy, did not play Hero, but they did play Bam Bam Bigelow. He had 14 and 6. Duncan Robinson had 12. Nikola Jovic had 9 and 5. And then Haywood Highsmith had 15. So nothing really to take away. We can make fun of Simmons again. And again, if you like Simmons, you can be pumped for him because he's doing the things that you want him to do. We got a bunch of stuff back and forth. But I don't care so much about this game. So let's just move on to the next one. Wizards. The Wiz played the Knicks 131-106. Jordan Poole in 3/4 of action in 27 minutes. He went 10 for 19 from the field, 6 for 12 from 3, 15 for 16 from the line. Finished with 41, 5, and 4. Wow. Also, back to the Nets. What your dad saying, Cam Thomas back to the bench. Thought for a moment he'd start this regular season. Yeah, they just get too many guys. But wild stuff from Jordan Poole. Just incredible performance. And listen, that is the upside of Jay Poole, right? We've seen flashes of this before. We've seen him take over games. Yes, it's the preseason. Who cares? But I think we are going to see this year. This is what it's going to be. It's going to be the Wizards winning somewhere between 20 and 28 games. It's going to be the Jordan Poole show. And then, Bilal Coulibaly is going to be running around. He's going to be playing a lot of minutes. Kyle Kuzma is going to be out there. They are going to be losing games, but I think it's going to be fun. We're going to see Jordan Poole take some crazy shots. We're going to see him take a lot of shots. And that is why he's so expensive on SORARE right now because of this. But what a performance, huh? 41. And we're going to talk about awards in a little bit. And he's probably going to fall into that most improved category. And that's why, I feel like it's hard to win awards when your team is ace. But maybe. Yeah. And as Garen points out, and Jordan Poole said it himself, the greenest of green lights, right? Also, Nicholas, what's up, my man? Thanks for being here, dude. Jordan Poole's just going to ball out. Actually, I want to pull, I'm not going to share screen, but I'm curious what his And again, for most of the so rare stuff, I've been looking specifically at rare just because that's what I'm building my rosters as. So that's not to say like you have to play rare, but instead of looking up the prices of everything, you know what? Though I'll just do it anyways. I'll look it up so I can help the rich people. I can help the poor people. I can help all the people. So Jordan Poole right now on so rare. Again, if I have one piece of feedback for so rare, let the search filter feature move a little bit faster now. His year 2 card limited 73. Whoo, his year 2 rare. Oh, wait, this is the auctions. You dumbass. Oh, we got to do it again now. We got to do it again now. Those are just the auctions. Those weren't the real prices. Strike it from the record. So his year 1 rare is going for 287 and his year limited is going for 57. Goodness gracious, that is a lot. Let's see. Is 41 the preseason record? The only reason I don't think it is because I feel like people would have been talking about it, right? Let's give them some. I think they would have been talking about it. So I don't think that is a season scoring record, but Mike's saying the irony of the average cards that I had last season became stronger was now strong SO5 wise. Oh, was not wise to sell them? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. That's crazy. Are we having a so rare year? Are we having a so rare league like last year? Yeah, we will. We got to figure out the prize structure. Last year, the so rare team was like, hey, how about I give you some stuff to give away? We will try to do something. I got to figure that out. It probably won't start till game week 3, Nicholas, because game week 1 and 2 is going to be a little hectic for me as I'm doing that big live show, and then I'm going to be very tired on Wednesday, and then I have to get ready for value hunting and live before lock for Friday. So I'm going to spend that first weekend during game week 2 figuring out what that's going to look like. Some would argue, hey, Mike, why didn't you plan ahead? I'm stressed out. That's why. All right. Anyways, that's enough about Jordan Poole. I think he's going to be a fun dude to monitor this year, just because he's going to take a lot of shots. He's going to take a lot of shots. So it's going to be good. Denver Ducks said I put 25 on Poole to lead the NBA in points per game at 12,000. Wow, what a bet! What a bet! I like that bet, Denver Dog. I like it. All right, Spurs and Rockets, which was a fun one. That was a fun one. Spurs and Rockets, 117, 103. All right, Spurs won. Wemby had 15 and 6 in 20 minutes, but who cares? What we do care about is Wemby nutmegged somebody in game. This 7'4" man, this giraffe of a human being, put it through. I don't even know which Houston Rocket it was. I probably have that video somewhere loaded up. Put it through, nutmegged, put it through, dribbled it through his legs and got it on the other side. We're going to see so many crazy ass highlights. And it's not like the difference between, well, there's a lot of differences between Jordan Poole and Wemby. Jordan Poole, we're going to see a lot of highlights in bad basketball form. Wemby, we're just seeing crazy stuff, man. It was Reggie Bullock. All right. Thank you, Common Man. Thank you, Nicholas. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. What your dad says, Sohan pouring forward. Didn't see that coming. Well, what your dad, if you tuned into this content, you absolutely did see it coming. Because who in the chat can remember? I believe it was for the first time we said it 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Watch out for Sohan maybe playing point forward. That's why we went so crazy overweight on underdog. I think he's like an incredible get on so rare right now because like with the role that he had last year, he was still solid, right? He was a big rebounds and assist guy. Maybe he gets you 15 points here and there, but mostly he's doing all the dirty work. Now he's going to be facilitating some of the offense. Whoo! I love it. I love the Sohan. Beware the Sohan. Cam Whitmore, though. Let's give Cam Whitmore a little bit of love, right? He's supposed to be a lottery pick. I was live in the Barclays Center when Cam Whitmore, we thought he was going to be like a top 10 pick. All of a sudden goes, I think it was 20 to the Houston Rockets. Some injury concerns. It came out later that his own college coach was out there bad-mouthing him before the draft. So he falls in the draft. And now he's playing pretty well in the preseason. We saw that highlight where that stupid-ass ref called a charge on his dunk. Last night he had 17 and 6 and then also added 6 steals to the mix. Devin Vassell had 25 and 3. And then on the Rockets side of things, Jabari Smith had 20 and 5 in 24 minutes, which is good. Yeah, Weisberg, saw it. I'll send it to you when I finish the basketball stuff. And then the last game of the night, Golden State Warriors beat the Kangs 116 to 115. I wrote that down wrong. My bad. And it was another game winner, baby. It was another game winner. Steph Curry down 2, buckets, drops down a 3. We just game winner, clutch. Kings did have a chance to answer. It didn't happen. Steph last night, 30 points, 5 dimes, 4 boards in 30 minutes. Literally a point a minute. God, he's going to be so good. We'll talk about the MVP in a little bit. I feel like there's a case to be made for him. Kuminga got the start. He dropped to 18 and 6. Wiggs had 16 and 3. CP3 had 13, 9, and 6 off the bench. Davion Mitchell had 14 off the bench. And then Keegan Murray, 24 and 8. And De'Aaron, what does the Fox say? 25 and 7. It was good to see Kings fans already mad. I saw Chewy out there posting something about somebody being out of bounds. I love it. I love the anger in a preseason form. Preseason game, everyone's in midseason form. You love to see that. Denver Dog says Trey Jones is my highest exposure on Underdog. Should have tuned in more. Yeah, I mean, I still think Trey's going to be fine. I just like Sohan was going even later. I think I'm at something. I'm not going to pull it up on the pewter, but if I look at this right now, I think my exposure on this bad boy was something like, let's see if I look, I've done, 111 drafts right now. I feel like I'm going to end up maxing this thing out. But if I look at my wings, he's my second highest exposed guy at 24%, right behind Zion. So it's going to be fun. We're having some fun, baby. Get excited for that. Let's take a quick break here. I'm actually going to take an Underdog break. And here's the thing. If you sign up using promo code HOLD, a couple of different stuff's happening. They're giving you free pick'ems. They're just giving you there's a special. Right now, there's a LeBron special that's out there for everybody. All he has to do is score 1 point. I did one last night. That was that's gonna be we're gonna print unless LeBron doesn't play. And the pick'em that I have, let's see, where is it? The pick'em that I have, it was something with Altuve. LeBron has to score 1 point. I forget and Simeon needed to score a run. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Alvarez over 8.5 fantasy points. He dropped 15. Simeon over 1 run. He got 1. And now LeBron, once he gets a point, we auto print. So if you sign up now, they give you your own special boost. They'll give you a special boost, but they're doing a $500 deposit bonus match. Usually it's only $100. Now you can get free $500. So anyways, wanted to get that out there before we do the official ad read. Today's NBA bit is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy Sports. Whether you're drafting Luka first overall in best ball or fading Wemby blocks in the pick'ems, Underdog is where you'll find Team Hold. Sign up today at underdogfantasy.com or just click the link in the description to get started. And by signing up using promo code HOLD, HOLD, you will get a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. That's a free honey. So sign up today using promo code HOLD, HOLD, and get started at underdogfantasy.com. Said was yesterday the last day you could do pick'ems. I thought it was going to be actually 2 days ago, and I'm just going to keep doing it and doing it well. I'm just going to keep doing it until they say something. Willie Dad said, "Damn, I wish it was 500 when I signed up. That's so dope." I know it is pretty sick. I'm sad. I know, Nick. We need to get this international. We need to get it international, baby. Wounded Geese looking at auctions. So people paying double. Why? What am I missing? Paul Reed at $34. What's going on? So Wounded Geese, real quick. The reason people are paying more is because there's an added boost in year 2 versus the year 1 cards, right? So that spruces up the prices a little bit. Paul Reed's cap is kind of low, and Nick Nurse was out there being like, hey, maybe we're going to play Paul Reed at the 4 a little bit. And there's also, Joel Embiid misses games and stuff. So I think people like Paul Reed, but that's why the prices are a little bit higher. But also it's like everyone swallows some blue chew and then heads over to the auctions. Everybody overpays on those auctions. And it's exciting, right? We're bidding. We're like, this card's mine. I need this card before everybody else. There's not that many out there. It's going to give me a huge advantage. I get it. People are excited. All right, we're going to bring Weisberg on, and we're going to do some NBA awards this morning. We're got the MVP, Most Improved, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man, Clutch, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year. That's what we're going to hit today, and we're going to have some fun with it. So, Weisberg, welcome to the show, dude. How we doing?
Running a little late this morning.
It's okay.
But otherwise fine. We're in good shape.
There we go. We love it.
Some award talk.
Yeah, I know. I tried to avoid almost every pod. I know No Dunks did it yesterday. I did listen to the over/under pods on the Bill Simmons podcast, but I don't think I've caught any award stuff. So I'm excited to dive into that. But yeah, you know what? Before we do this, any thoughts on Embiid signing with Skechers, Weisberg?
The fact that the center for the U.S. national team is going to be rocking Skechers for the Olympics is really exciting.
It's hilarious.
To me, actually, just quickly, jokes aside, the fact that Skechers has actually signed multiple NBA athletes
I
is a
know.
bold move.
Well, you
Like,
know
I
what?
don't know how this is going to work for them, but it's a pretty bold move.
Well, you know, it was kind of nuts too. I didn't know this. I think it was Raheem Palmer tweeted it. I apologize. I'm gonna have the wrong Twitter handle, I think. But Underdog now is down. I mean, Underdog. Under Armour is down to like Steph Curry, Patty Mills, Dennis Smith Jr. Like that's what their roster looks like now as they continue to lose people, which is kind of like Steph really is doing a lot of the work there for Under Armour.
And the key there is that Steph has equity, right? Like
Right.
the only reason that Steph, in theory, is staying with Under Armour, outside of the fact that he's already built in that brand,
Mm-hmm.
is that he has a ton of stock built in. So like,
Yeah.
not looking great for Under Armour right now. Good call out.
Hey, and that's two different investments that I think Steph is going to be taking an L on. Under Armour and FTX baby SBF. We love to see it. All right, let's dive into some of these. I'll let you a dealer's choice. What do you want to start with MVP? Do you want to start with something weird? Where do you want to start?
Let's go traditional, and then we can get weird.
Okay, cool.
You know, we'll save later in the show for getting weird on like sixth man and whatnot.
Yeah, so MVP is kind of interesting because it feels like they're like, okay, well, it's either going to be Giannis or Jokic, and then maybe you step back a little bit further and you can make a case for like, well, if the Celtics are the best team in the East, maybe it's Tatum, or like I don't know. Where are you landing with the MVP talk?
All right, so in theory, I think the Vegas has the best odds for I think Giannis offhand. I'll quickly look it up, but
Jokic is I think is like +4 something, and then Giannis is +6 something.
Okay, I think Giannis is the best opportunity. Like if we were just to stack everything up, given the Dame news, given where this roster is, that team should win a shitload of games. However, I will be a homer. I think Jason Tatum is first MVP.
Wow.
This is a team that is going to win 55 plus games. It is a stacked roster, at least in terms of the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can fit the depth pieces around them. If you've seen, look, I think preseason basketball generally is an abomination. However, you can at least get some things right about how a team will look in terms of the preseason. Yeah. And I think what the Celtics have looked like in terms of the spacing of their offense, how they're going to be run Porzingis in different looks. Now, this is all very much if Porzingis is healthy. Because if Porzingis is healthy, that offense, at least once again, through the top, I think 8 really, but their top 6 is the best top 6 in the league. I think Tatum's got a real opportunity to go for more than he did last year, which was 30 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have more assists. His effective field goal percentage is going to be significantly higher. I don't know if you've been watching some of the Celtics preseason, which I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
But he's been going in the post a ton. And I think they're going to feed him in a bunch of different ways. So I'm going to go with Jason Tatum, your MVP.
That's fun. Tatum's fun. I think my pick will be Giannis. I think there's going to be like not voter fatigue. I think there's going to be like they step away and they're like, man, have we awarded Giannis enough? But I'll make a case for some outside shots. I think, and I said this last year too before the award predictions. If you want to like make a case for a long shot, like it's really, hey, listen, if you think the Suns can finish number 1 in the West, throw some money on Devin Booker, right? I think he's like 22-1 or something like this to win. And if the Suns are the number 1 seed, it's not going to be because Kevin Durant played 72 games or Bradley Beal played 80 games. It's going to be because Devin Booker was awesome, right? That's how you're going to win those regular season games. So I think Booker is fun. And then Luka's always in the conversation. But if you think the Mavericks are going to be a top 3, top 4 team, Luka's got to be in that conversation. And then, yeah, Botavine, that was the other one I was going to say. If OKC actually does finish in the top 4, you're going to see a lot of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander buzz as well. So I don't know. This reminds me of like a poker in a way where you like tell a story. So if this is true, what else is true? And so if the Suns are a top team in the West, what else is true? Booker's probably in the MVP conversation. I think betting on somebody like Giannis or Tatum is safer just because to me, it's like super clear that one of those teams is going to be the top team in the East. And most likely both of them are winning over 50 games. So those do feel a little bit safer. And I do think you're right. Like if the Celtics, Celtics win like 60 games and are the number 1 seed in basketball, Tatum's going to be up
and
there.
I think there's a narrative you can lay, whether or not this is a fair narrative, but I think there's the best American player mantle is there to be grabbed.
Yeah.
It's been a conversation all off season, given the way the Team USA played, right?
Yeah.
And I do think there's an element here of if the media wants to look at this and be like, oh, Jason Tatum, best American player right now, averaging 30 on the best team.
Yeah.
He deserves it over these 2 foreign guys who have won it the last couple of years. Look, American xenophobia is alive and well. Like it is a obvious part of American culture, particularly in the way that we have treated people like Jokic, in the way that we have treated people like Giannis in terms of the voting.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're for a long time, people didn't trust those two until they did.
Yeah.
And I think, it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up going the entire other way with someone like Tatum.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that might be a bit of a bold take. I totally understand why people would be like, "Fuck this take, Weisberg."
No. I mean, I've heard it before too. I've heard that before where they're like, I feel like Ryan Russillo has gone in on that a couple of times. What are you dad saying? The Warriors are a top team with Durant and never look towards Durant, Steph way for MVP. Superstars always cancel each other out. I will say, speaking on that, I feel like, and Steph, who hit the game winner last night. I mean, if the Warriors are good this year, it's because Steph was great. And so I feel like that Steph's always in the conversation as well.
And Steph, look, I'm pretty low on this Warriors team. I've been very clear on that. If that team finishes top 2, Steph's going to be in that MVP conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, people love Steph. He's got a super high Q rating. He hasn't won the MVP in a couple years. So, like, if you want an interesting long shot, Steph's not a terrible one.
Yeah,
in terms of where he could be. Now, I just don't think that team's good enough.
Yeah. In the same line of thinking too. I mean, everyone's pretty high on the Lakers, it seems like, and if that is the case, Anthony Davis is going to be in that conversation too. So there's some like further long shots. I think I'm just going to pick Giannis and call it a day. I think I think that's who I think is going to win it this year. All right, let's go to defensive player of the year next. What are you thinking for DPOY?
Giannis.
Yeah, you're going for Giannis.
I just think he's going to eat people up. Like,
yeah.
I understand a lot of this is dependent in some ways on Brook Lopez staying healthy in terms of that backline defense.
Yeah.
But he's such an elite player. His defensive metrics are off the charts. And I think it's time that we see Giannis take his crown back. And if this team is the 1 seed, he's got a real chance at MVP, DPOY. They have a real shot. I mean, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but guy can be 6th man of the year depending on how they play Portis. Like, they've got an opportunity to take home all of the awards.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I'm gonna go Bam. I think I've like adjusted some of my.
Dan's gonna love that in the chat.
Yeah, I think I'm adjusting some of my Miami takes, which I'll get into a little bit later for this season. I've been thinking a little bit more about the Eastern Conference and just how dog shit it is. So I think Bam is going to. I think Bam was mad he hasn't been recognized in the way that he probably should be. I think Jaren Jackson Jr., who won it last year, kind of, I wouldn't even say he got exposed, but it just. He did. He got exposed in like the FIBA World Cup. I just think Bam is going to come out there. And if Miami they don't get Dame, so everybody writes them off. And now if they're, in contention, of hosting a playoff round in the first round, I think Bam, it's going to be because Bam was like incredibly defensively, especially if they're starting guards like Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero.
Yeah, look, they're going to be dog shit on the perimeter.
Yeah.
And Bam is going to have to exceed his past numbers defensively. He's always going to be in that DPOY conversation. He's always a first-team defender. I just think in order to hit that DPOY, he's going to have to exceed his current numbers. Stan in the chat, Smart and Triple J were exposed as DPOY frauds. Appreciate that, Stan. You ride for your guys. That's why I love you, bud. But look, we are giving Bam love, and rightfully so. He's a fantastic defensive player.
I think this is going to be a narrative thing too. Bam has never even been a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh,
he's never finished top 3, and I could just see people being like, "Whoa, we gave it to Marcus Smart, then we gave it to Jaren Jackson Jr. Like maybe we got to get our shit together." And Patrick in the chat too. I actually don't know this answer, but what metrics are used to determine Defensive Player of the Year? Is it more of an eye test? I know whatever defensive metrics they use, no one feels like super confident in those metrics.
Right.
Go ahead. What were you going to say though?
Here's what I will tell you as someone who voted on college awards when I was younger. No one fucking knows. Let me just be very clear. Defensive Player of the Year is typically a counting stat for a lot of voters.
Yeah.
And it can be more of an eye test. I think on some level, there's a narrative part of it, as Mike notes. Like, it really depends on, I think, some combination of typically eye tests and who's leading the block numbers.
Yeah,
it's usually or alternatively, if you're a guard, which outside of Smart basically hadn't happened in 20 years,
right?
Is who was leading in steals. And the funny thing was, Marcus wasn't even leading in steals, I think, that year.
No, I don't think so either. I forget.
It literally was just he was the quote best defender on the best team.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because they were historically great defensively.
Yeah. Tesla in the chat
so
saying
it's right, and it's by and large only bigs, and it's usually going to be whoever is somewhere in that top 3 in blocks, and then let's pick a narrative.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's right. I'm going with I am going to go with Bam. I like that. I think Bam is going to get recognized here. Stat Watchers thought Whiteside played good defense because he led the lead in blocks. That's a great example. Maddie was saying people try to use on-off defensive ratings. There's so much noise in the stats yet. And last, Manny says placed a $50 bet on Simmons to win Most Improved. You know what? Let's go to Most Improved right now. Then Most Improved. So you put 50 on Simmons at plus 6,000. I like that. I kind of went pretty chalky here. I don't know, dude. How do you feel about Most Improved?
What did you go with first?
I went Mikal Bridges. I went Mikal Bridges. I just think that he's still gonna score the most points on this Nets team, and even if this Nets team is bad, I just think Bridges is going to average 25 points a game, and he only did it for, like the last 30 games of the season or whatever that was. And there's like Bridges hype right now, especially after what he did with Team USA. I could just see if the Nets overperform a little bit, it's clearly him. I mean, there's cases for other people too. I just feel like he has such a lead on it right now. I don't know. What about you?
So I had 2 trains of thought. I settled on Jordan Poole, just because I think he is going to be fucking awesome in terms of a awesome and inefficient player. He's going to drop 30 on like 30% shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not going to be good in terms of overall efficiency, but man, is he going to score. He's going to have a bunch of narrative love behind him.
Yeah.
In Washington as the cashed out former Warrior who's leading the league in scoring. I think that could be fun. The other one to watch, and right now Vegas has this as the favorite, is Cade Cunningham.
Wow, I mean, Cade is going to have to be an all-star for that to happen. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the person who wins this has to really pop, And we've seen it before, like when Ja won it, which was so dumb. Cade, listen, I love Cade. I have a lot of Cade in like best ball, and I want to buy him on SORARE. I like what I saw him do in the like that Team USA stuff that we talked about when he played for the select team in the Luka role. That's fine. That's funny. I did not know that he was leading it. I thought it was Mikal Bridges. The other name that I was going to
Yeah,
throw
so
up.
I just looked it up. DraftKings has him plus 30. This is from a couple days ago, but DraftKings had him plus 1,300. FanDuel had him plus 1,500. Reeves, Jordan Poole, Banchero, Bridges is around there as well.
Okay, yeah, I had Bridges at plus 1,000, but maybe
Sorry, Bridges plus 750. Had to go
Yeah.
further down. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the Cade one is Cade one's interesting. The other one, Halliburton, I think, is another name to be thrown out there. Because Halliburton only played like 50-something games last year. Everybody seems to be higher on this fast-paced Pacers team. And I mean, that's because of Halliburton. It's not because they're not like, holy shit, we got Bruce Brown. Like, it's because Halliburton is now going to be healthy and play a full year. So there you go. I like that one. Hold on, let me catch up in the chat. Oh yeah, Nuswami, or saving that for tomorrow, Nuswami. But yeah, I saw Stan's. Listen, I hope Nikola Jovic plays more. I feel like we haven't seen Miami this preseason utilize him in a way that he would play meaningful minutes. Not meaningful minutes, but like, again, you have to have like big time numbers, and I don't think Jovic is going to have. I hope he is. I like Nikola Jovic, but I don't see that.
I think he has a better shot next year than this year. I think he's going to get his feet wet. I think to Stan's credit, he's been talking about Jovic all offseason.
Yep.
And I think Jovic was great in FIBA and has a real opportunity to be good. I just think it's a minutes thing with him. I think they're going to let him get his feet wet, and then they're going to turn the burners on the last 3 quarters of the year with him and really unleash him. I just don't think he'll win most improved right away. I think for him, it'll be next season where that light is really going to be shined on him.
I do like Wade Dad's comment here. Wagner. I think Wagner's like a fun one. Especially if you think the Magic overperform, and I mean he was awesome too. You want to take the FIBA narrative? He was incredible on the team that won the whole thing. Let's do 6 man of the year because I got a fun one for this. But I'll let you go first for 6 man of the year. I thought it was pretty funny. Brogdon is like the second most favorite odds right now to win 6 man of the year, and I think that's so dumb because he's not going to be on this team for a while. So I guess you're assuming he gets traded to a place where he will be the 6th man and then compete for it. I think that's like the worst bet in basketball right now.
Yeah, you might as well spend your money with Dapper Sports. Is it too soon for that, Chad? Yeah, look, here's the thing. I would say, by and large, the Brogdon one doesn't really make sense because he hasn't been traded yet. I know the Clippers are actively in those conversations, but it seems like they're much more focused on Harden right now. And I don't know if you've seen some of that Harden reporting.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it is getting messy. Yeah. But that said, to your actual conversation on most improved, I guess there's a couple different ways you can go on it.
To 6 man?
For me,
6 man?
Oh, sorry, 6 man. 6 man.
Yeah.
For me personally, let's go Norm Powell.
Okay, that's fun.
I think whether he's going to be on the Clippers or if he gets traded to the Sixers, depending on what lineups they roll out, I think he's got a real shot at winning 6 man of the year. He's been in the running the last couple years. He's offensively talented enough that he can put up enough points to make it work. He's a great defensive player. I think, solid. Yeah. Gets the job done.
Yeah, Norm Powell's fun. Let me catch him on the chat here before I drop it. Maddie says, my rant on the 6 man, I hate it's basically given to the
and Mike's muted.
Sorry, my mic cut. Saying that I hate that it basically is given to the guy who comes off the bench enough times with the highest points per game. If they played 30 minutes per game and finished most game, this isn't my definition of a 6 man. Yeah, I do think that's dumb. And then here we go. I like this take too. If you want to do the Heat narrative, Caleb Martin, 6 man of the year, check that Eastern Conference tape. Be curious if he, like, that was such a small sample size, right? But if he can recreate that, that is like going to be a fun long shot bet. I did a long shot one too, and I went for plus.
I love it. You love to see it. Mike has had this mic for the better part of a year, I think. And it's just, what's the show, man, when we got guests?
Jesus Christ.
On the plus side for Mike, though, we do have the opening day show, and we shouldn't have mic issues there.
Yeah.
So,
who knows? Who knows? All right, real quick. the plus 2,200. Bogdan Bogdanović of the Atlanta Hawks. I think if the Hawks end up being anything, right? Because I do think, and this kind of goes towards my Heat narrative too. So like if one will be true, maybe not both. But the Sixers, I think, are going to be ass. And their Knicks and the Cavs are fine, but who knows like how talented those teams are going to be. There's still some like questions there. And Quinn Snyder, full year with Quinn. Maybe they figure this out. They got rid of John Collins, bad vibes. Bogdan comes in, say they're in like the 4 or 5 seed conversation. All of a sudden, Bogdan's going to get a little bit of love, and he looks like he's finally healthy. He was coming off of injury for like the last couple of years. We're going to continue to talk about FIBA. He was awesome for Serbia in the FIBA World Cup. Plus 2,200, I was like, that's fun. Because really, I didn't like any of the options for the value, right? Norm Powell, I think, is a great candidate, but it's like so much has to go right. He also could get traded. Malcolm Brogdon being as favorited as he was, I was like, this is stupid. There was another one that I'm blanking on that was high up there. And I just didn't like any of those. So I was like, let's scroll down. I also think the Celtics are going to be weird, right? Like, because maybe they're the best team in the East.
Derek White was up there too.
Right. But we don't even know what that, like, is Derek White going to come off the bench most of the time? Is it going to be Al? Like, what is that going to look like? Bobby Portis, I think, is fine too. But at the odds, I kind of like Bogdan. I thought Bogdan was a fun one.
Here's one that I think, I wouldn't say it's under the radar, but something fun to talk about. Chris Paul.
Yeah. If you think
if he comes off the bench, he's going to be super productive in that second team lineup with Jonathan Kuminga, who has been awesome so far through the preseason.
Yeah, he's been great.
I could see it, and the narrative's there for CP. You could also even throw a most improved thing at him, depending on how he plays.
Yeah, he has to come off the bench too. Like I just don't see a world in which they start him. Even with Draymond like dinged up, they're like, oh, maybe he slides in. I'm like, you can't start Steph, CP3, and Clay. Like, I just don't know how you do it.
Well, I mean, so Steve Kerr in some of his pressers has specifically said they want Clay to start at the 4 defensively.
Yeah, I mean, he's
because he can't guard on the perimeter.
Yeah,
he's not he can't guard 1s and 2s.
Yeah,
so he's got to guard 3s and 4s, and that's just messy if you're guarding Steph, CP, and Clay.
Yeah,
because then Wiggins has to jump up and guard 2s.
If that's the case, then think about Kuminga and Looney as 6th man of the year. Then one of those guys. If you still think the Warriors are going to be able to figure it out while starting CP3.
Well, look, if Kuminga makes a leap, I mean, he's been averaging 20 plus in preseason.
Yeah,
he makes the leap. You could easily see that.
Yeah, he's been great. He has been great. All right, let's keep moving. So we got 3 left. We've got clutch player of the year, rookie of the year, coach of the year. Which one you want to hit?
Let's do rookie of the year. I think we're both going to be in agreement on this. Look, Wemby's looked awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Spurs are going to play him enough, Chet, all day. Chet's looked great in preseason. He looks every bit the player he was in college. He's put on a little bit of weight, surprisingly. He has that year in the NBA, which is important. One of the things that I think is underrated about that is just understanding the way an NBA season works. Even if you are hurt for most of it, being on planes, being in NBA locker rooms, there is a big adjustment for most rookies.
Yeah.
And the fact that Chet has already been here a year is huge. He doesn't have to deal with any of that adjustment, and he can just go out and play. He is going to be a guy who will average 17, 10, and 2 blocks. He's going to be very good out the gate.
Yeah, I think both of them. This is what I would say about rookie of the year. I think those top 3 are all good bets. I wouldn't be surprised if any of them won. I'm picking Chet as well because I've been saying it for 3 months already now. So yeah, I'm picking Chet. But again, I mean, Wemby's looked freaking incredible. And Bottomine said, does Scoot have a chance? I mean, listen, he could average 20 and 12, as a rookie, just because that team's going to lose so many games and they're going to be playing fast pace. So he could absolutely do it. But I just think Chet's going to be on a competitive team. I think the Spurs are going to be more competitive than the Blazers, I think. So I would rank them Chet, Wemby, Scoot in that order. But yes. I wouldn't be surprised.
And the other thing to consider with Scoot is his counting stats are going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just narratively, people are going to hold the losing against him, even if they shouldn't.
Yeah, he's gonna have to outperform the other two in like a meaningful statistical way for I think him to leapfrog. Because Wemby's gonna have a wild. Go ahead.
Just quickly, if let's say Wemby and Chet are similar, let's say they're both around like 15, 17 a game. I think Wemby is a real shot at the blocks record for a rookie.
Yeah.
But let's say Wemby's got 3, Chet's got 2 a game. Both are averaging around like 8 or 9 boards a game. What would Scoot have to do? 25 a game?
Yeah, I think a double-double. I think it'd have to be like 25 and 10. But even still, I just don't. I think people would lean towards Chet or Wemby. I think Wemby's going to have more ridiculous highlights. I think Chet is going to be on a good basketball team, and they're both going to be putting up. So yeah, I Scoot is a considerable drop, I think, behind Chet and Wemby for me. And the fact that
just one thing, the only thing I'd say about the Wemby stuff is just these highlights right now.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anything like it, and the narrative behind Wemby is going to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, the nutmeg last night on Reggie Bullock was nuts. Like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. So, yeah, I think it's going to be hard. Yeah, that's exactly what Stan said. Check it out, Merritt Wemby, and the stupid media would give it to him like LeBron over Carmelo. There you go. There you go. Good example. All right. But yeah, I think it is pretty clear. I mean, if you want to get wild, you just go like Oscar Thompson out of Detroit. Like, hey, maybe Detroit actually wins like 35 games and Cade makes him great right away. If you want to get wild, there we go. Untalked about person in the Blazers trade, Toumani Camara as the best Belgian rookie. There you go. Maybe he outshines Scoop out of on. Let's go to two left, and then I got to get out of here. We've got. Let's end with coach. So let's do clutch player of the year. And I'll go first with this one. I actually was like, what if I'm trying to treat it like last season, since that's the first time we've given out that award. It went to De'Aaron Fox. I know there's like stats that break down clutch, which I still think is so funny. But in my mind, the Thunder are going to be this year's Kings team.
Damn it.
And if that's the case, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at plus 1,200, which I think he's like tied for the best odds. I'm just gonna give it to SGA. I'm gonna give it that's where you were going to?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a different one just for the purposes of the conversation.
Yeah.
Let's go Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that's fun.
Look, here's the thing. There are a bunch of stats if you look him up where Donovan's a really good closer. Mm-hmm. I mentioned this last night in the SORARE chat. There is a real opportunity for him here where he only has 2 years left on his deal. He desperately wants to go to New York. He's made it clear via media leaks he wants to go to New York. And if he has this monster year where he hits a couple game winners, keeps the Cavs where they are, which is a top 4 seed, I think the clutch player award could definitely be his. And it's not crazy odds for him. His odds are plus 1,700 with DraftKings.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it. You know, like there's enough there with him. I don't love Luka just because I don't think that team will be good enough in the West. And then Fox and SGA are your clear favorites to me. Fox could go back-to-back depending on how they do, but I think they would have to win the West in order for him to win Clutch Player of the Year. And SGA is probably the most likely choice, given that team has a real shot at potentially winning top 4. He's going to get to the line a ton, gets to the line 9.4 times a game.
Yeah.
So, like, the opportunity is just going to be there to close.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That was my pick. Jimmy, Stan says Jimmy. He finished second last year to Fox too. Yeah, I can see that as well if he plays enough. That's let's just like roll right into Coach of the Year. I said this up top. I think I'm changing my take on Miami a little bit. So Stan, there you go, man. You want to give Jimmy clutch. You want to give Caleb Martin the 6-man Bam Defensive Player of the Year. I think that he'd have a shot at finishing top 4. And if that happens, right, with the Dame trade doesn't work, the Harden stuff, all of that noise, right? Spoelstra somehow gets these like Haywood Highsmiths, Jovic's, Jaime Jaquez Jr. to like perform to get them hosting a first-round playoff series. It's Spo. And I didn't know this. Spo has not won yet. I think he's universally thought of as the best coach in the league right now. Give it to Spo.
I have two thoughts. One, Spo is a great pick. Spo is always a great pick. The only question for them is if they finish top 4. I
Yeah.
don't think they finish top 4. Sorry, Stan. I'm gonna go.
I think 5 could do it, by the way, too. If they just finish ahead of the Sixers, right? If it goes like Knicks, Cavs, and then the Heat right there, if they're like in that conversation, I feel like he could still get there.
What if the Sixers finish in the lottery?
Yeah,
Like,
it's gonna be fun.
I don't look. They're gonna have to deal Harden. If Embiid gets hurt, all of a sudden that team gets massively worse.
Yeah,
And they just don't have enough talent to finish, in even
So-
the top 10.
So you're saying you're going to give it to Nick Nurse because they finished in the lottery? Because that would be an impressive coaching performance.
No, I just wanted to throw that out there. Because the Sixers team is all in the news. Mark Daigneault, I think.
Yeah,
For
the Thunder.
coach of the year, particularly if we really believe in that OKC narrative, Daigneault is going to be the guy. That said, the other one that I would look at, and this is going a little homer again. What if we get the Missoula one?
Yeah, I saw that he's like one of the favorites. I think that's nutso. Mainly just because everybody spent this whole season, this whole postseason, this whole offseason, even at the end of the regular season, about how terrible he was as a coach. And then all they've done is brought in extra help so that it'd be like, okay. And then, so the best that they can do is like recreate what they did this past regular season. There's no way. And like, they're not going to be like, oh, he did it. They would have to, like, I don't think he's going to get credit until they actually like win a finals.
Agreed.
Yeah. So
I do think it'd be really funny, just purely from the narrative part of it, if they were just like, you know what, they're the 1 seed, they won 55 games, he bounced back after a rough first year, didn't have, basically had Ime's assistance. Like, I get the idea behind why you might do it. I just think Daigneault has all of the narrative steam behind him. He has an excellent team that's likely to do well. And typically this goes to like a younger team that surprises, quote unquote.
Right.
Even though OKC is a team that I think most people feel pretty strongly about. If they finish even top 6, Daigneault's got a much better shot, in my opinion, than, say, Spo.
Yeah.
In terms of the way the narrative is going to play out.
Yeah, I think they could also do like Adrian Griffin, like if I say that in the chat a little bit, if the Bucks just like win 60 games, his first time coaching, I think that, dude, and you want to make a case for the Sixers, like they trade Harden for like trash heap, and then Maxey turns into an all-star, and they still finish with like the 3 seed in the East. I can see them giving it to Nick Nurse too, being like, holy crap, they were able to do that with all that drama. I could see that. So I think there are a lot of cases for a bunch of different coaches. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go Spo because I think the Heat may be surprised without making any sort of moves in the offseason. But Daigneault would be my second choice.
And the one that I would say, if you want to burn your money, go with that. Mike Malone at plus 900.
There you go.
He is not winning coach of the year, guys.
No.
Sorry. Just not happening. Like,
yeah.
If you win a title, you're not going to win coach of the year the following year unless your team does something truly special.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Moment collectors. I'd bet a lot of money that if James Harden is not on the Sixers team, which he will not be, that Maxey is going to make an all-star this year.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So, and there we go. I also like that.
The only question is when Harden gets traded.
Yeah, but even if he doesn't get traded, I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play a game, And so, like, especially if he's not showing up to practice, which I know is weird because we've already talked about the CBA thing at length a couple of times, and how that would affect James Harden's future. But yeah, Embiid's come out and said, yeah, Maxey's a baller. I want to make him an all-star. So I
know we have to wrap real quick.
Yeah.
But I do want to just quickly go up on a quick Sixers thing.
Yeah.
All right. So we've seen former Sixers owner Mike Rubin go on the Pat Bev pod and basically trash current Sixers ownership, and particularly Daryl Morey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fully understand what the Harden media strategy is right now. Like, you've quit on 3 different teams now, my guy.
Yeah.
And each time, the way that you exit just looks worse. This time you tried to play cool. You went to training camp. Everyone was right behind you, right until the moment that you decided, I'm not going to go to practice, and I'm basically going to sit out the regular season. is what it feels like. This
Yeah.
man is out partying in strip clubs in Houston. Like, the idea that his head coach yesterday was like, I don't know where he is. It is what it is. We're just going to operate the same way that we always do. Like, you know where he is. Like, everyone knows where he is. This is not like
I thought it was pretty.
That James Harden would go to Houston.
I thought it was pretty great that it was like less than 18 hours after the report came out about how professionally James Harden was handling all of this, that he didn't show up to practice and was not only not at practice, but was in a different state. I thought the timing
had been there for several days.
Yeah, I thought that was like super funny. Yeah, the reporting itself is just all hilarious. All right, I got to get out of here. We got to wrap up. I got to get the dog out. So let's Weisberg, what do we got? Playback. Are we ready for playback on Tuesday night?
Yeah, we are ready for playback. So quickly, obviously, you guys know about the opening day show sponsored by SORARE. We're also doing a playback show. We're already booking guests. We just spoke to Oliver Maroney from Open Seas, the head of gaming over there. We've got a couple other guests that we are in talks with to try to hammer everything out. But yeah, we are super excited about what we're doing with playback this year. We're going to be running twice a week this year. The hope is to do Tuesday, Thursday. We may do some Tuesday, Friday games because we want to get chat super involved over there. Yeah, we're excited. We passed 500 members over the off season. Shout out to Sneeps on that front. But yeah, we're pumped about what we're doing with playback.
Awesome.
A lot of new features. One other last thing with playback. They have a new deal to announce. I'll be able to give you guys more details next week. But they are officially partnered with the NBA.
Yeah, very exciting stuff from playback. Moment collectors, real quick. Ready? This is what we're going to do. The Celtics aren't. It's Derek White and Drew Holiday. Are you listening to them? I'll give you Dame. Donovan Mitchell. Who are the other guards that are locked in? Oh, LaMelo Ball in the 11 seed. You think Trey? I mean, the NBA has gone out of its way.
I think they list Jaylen Brown as 2.
Okay, but they've gone out of their way not to vote Trae Young into the All-Star game already. So I'm not going to count on Trae. I'm not going to count on LaMelo. I like the East is wide open. Yeah, I already said Dame. So even if you give you Dame, Jaylen Brown, Brunson, and Donovan, that's 4. That's it though. That's it. Those are the locks. LaMelo and Trae are. I'm telling you, go look up how the NBA players feel about Trae Young. They have time and time again not voted him for shit.
Not even NBA players, NBA management. He didn't make Team USA this year.
Yeah.
Because Team USA had him try out. They said Trae Young try out for the team, and then they didn't put him on the team.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and people were like, why didn't Trae Young make the team? And they were like, well, he didn't really fit the vibe.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and you say Darius Garland, I'm telling you, man, look at Maxi's on-off numbers with no Harden, and it's going to be out of control.
Hallie's a good one.
Hallie's a good one, but I'm just telling you, Maxi's numbers are going to be nutso, and especially if the Sixers are like treading water with no Harden, I'm telling you, it's going to go.
Counting stats would be great. What about Jordan Poole? You think Jordan Poole's got a shot?
No. No, I just don't think. I mean, maybe he could average 30. I guess he has to average 30 to do it. I don't know. I don't think if the Wizards have like 8 wins at the All-Star break, I just don't see them. All right, I got to wrap though. I got to get out of here. All right, good stuff, Weisberg. We'll see you guys all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And then we'll have the Underdog Happy Hour show on Friday. Basketball is right around the corner. We are out.